Hi guys, so I got my first video request, which is so exciting, so I'm gonna do that today. Someone asked me to make a video on my top 10 Taylor Swift songs, which is probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do. But it's funny because I actually have a Spotify playlist. It's called Every Taylor Swift Song Ranked. So I already did this. It's not 100% complete. My top 10 changes every day, but these are just the ones that I have down that I made when I made the playlist. I'll link the playlist down below. It's definitely not fully complete and it changes all the time, but I would say like the top 50, bottom 50, middle, like, you know, it's organized into that more than like one song over another, because it's really hard to rank songs that are so different. Like Peace and Style, I'm like, they're so different. How do you choose one over the other? But I'm just gonna go into my top 10 and just say why I like them so much. So my 10th is Cold As You, which is from her first album. What impresses me about this song so much is that she wrote it when she was 13, and it just seems like it's describing such a mature relationship that I don't know how she wrote that when she was so young. I just love the sound because it really has that country twang. I'm so excited for her re-recording of this. I really think that her mature vocals are going to bring more attention to this song. One line that really sticks out to me is "Ain't no use defending words that you will never say," and I think that this is so relatable because it's like, it seems like she's trying to make excuses for the person in her head, but that person has never apologized. Another lyric that I love is, "And you come away with a great little story of a mess of a dreamer with the nerve to adore you." I think that's so relatable because I think it's basically saying at the end of the relationship she was really struggling and he felt nothing. He just has this story of a girl that was really in love with him. Also, what a rainy ending to a perfect day. I have had an experience like that where you're having a really great day with someone and then they break up with you at the end of the night. So that one just hit super hard. Then 9 is Dear John. And I don't think I have to explain that one. Again, I guess she was like 20 when she wrote this. But it's so impressive. She just really speaks about how she was too young for the relationship and got manipulated, and how she was walking on eggshells the whole time. For instance, she says, "Counting my footsteps, praying the floor won't fall through again." So she really thinks she's gonna mess it up because the other person, who we all think is John Mayer, seems like he's very moody. Also, my mother accused me of losing my mind, but I swear I was fine. I'm sure her mother was like, "You're 19, you do not need to be dating a 32-year-old. So it has a lot of self-reflection in this. I also just love the sound of it. Her vocals are amazing. "You paint me a blue sky and go back and turn it to rain," which means he really shows her something that's beautiful and then messes it all up. And she said, "I lived in your chess game, but you changed the rules every day." And the next lyric is, "Wondering which version of you I might get on the phone tonight." So it seems like she never knows what mood he's gonna be in. And the chorus, "Dear John, I see it all now that you're gone," it just shows how reflective she is when she's writing the song. Her performance of this on the Speak Now World Tour is insane. When it says, "I'm shining like fireworks over your sad empty town," fireworks go off during the concert right as she's saying that. Her vocals during the concert are so good. I just love this album so much, and I think it's just perfectly represents what Speak Now is. Again, she says, "Don't you think 19's too young?" So she realizes she was too young and it was not a good relationship. It's just such a beautiful song and it never gets old. Then 8, we have Cowboy Like Me. I also love, can you tell I like her country songs? And it's funny because I don't even like country music, but country Taylor is my favorite. This one just instantly captivated me. I love how it starts with, and the tennis court was covered up with some tent-like thing. It just seems like not a normal beginning to a song. And the meaning of the song is really debated. So some people think of it as a love song and some people don't think that. It has some of the most beautiful lyrics she's ever written, such as, "Now you hang from my lips like the gardens of Babylon, with your boots beneath my bed, forever is the sweetest con." So there's a whole cowboy metaphor in here, which I really like. Like, she's talking about boots. She's saying, "You're a bandit like me, hustling for the good life. Ladies lunching at their stories about when you pass through town." And it does say, "I'm never gonna love again." So some people think that means that now they're in love and she's never gonna love someone else again. I don't think that. I don't think that really makes sense. So I think of it more as two people who are messed up, because it says, "The skeletons in both our closets plotted hard to fuck this up." So I think it's about two like con artists, like two toxic people falling in love and it not working out. And it says I'm never gonna love again because she's so messed up from it that she never thinks she'll be able to fall in love with someone else ever again. Then I have Style. So this one, I feel like we all know how iconic 1989 is. I don't think I even have to explain. The guitar at the beginning of this, I think is just one of the most iconic intros she's ever had. This one is more the vibes. I'm not like, oh my god, these lyrics mean so much to me, or even this song means so much to me, but it's just such a feel-good song. And then also on the Eras tour, she's like underground and you just hear the beginning of Style and then she comes up and everyone's screaming. Also the fact that it's about Harry Styles is just so epic and I feel like it makes everyone love this song. Also, this is so funny. So for basically my whole life, I thought the lyrics were the lights are off, he's taking off his clothes. That's also why I like the song, because it's so sexual. But the lyrics are actually he's taking off his coat, and I found that out when I was reading the lyrics like a couple of weeks ago and I was so disappointed. I was like, you know, she wants it to be clothes, but she was like, no, I'm gonna make it a little more appropriate and just say coat. Okay, number 6, we have You're on Your Own, Kid. There's a lot to unpack in this song, but it pretty much goes throughout Taylor's entire life. And essentially the meaning of the song, I think, is she's saying all these people will come and go, the only person you have is yourself. I am confused by the first verse because that feels more of a relationship and the rest of the song definitely feels like it's about her and her career. But maybe it is about someone that she always waited for. I think the last part of the song, I don't know if it's a bridge or a new chorus or outro or what it's called, but from sprinkler splashes to fireplace ashes. So I think sprinkler splashes is like her playing in the sprinklers as a little kid and fireplace ashes is now. And she said, I gave my blood, sweat, and tears for this, which is her career. I hosted parties. We all know her 4th of July parties. And Starved My Body. We know in Miss Americana that she had an eating disorder. Like I'd Be Saved by a Perfect Kiss. So essentially thinking a man would come save her and didn't really think that she had the control to like fix that on her own. The jokes weren't funny, I took the money. She's been asked a lot of really horrible interview questions. They're actually online. You can look up like bad Taylor Swift interview questions and there's compilations of all of them. I took the money, so she just smiled and waved and took the money. My friends from home don't know what to say. I think this lyric is so heartbreaking because she's gotten to this level of fame where her friends from home can't relate to her anymore, and it's probably hard for her to talk to them because her life is so different from them. I looked around in my blood-soaked gown, so I feel like that's talking about all of her like enemies or people that she's on bad terms with, like Kim and Kanye and Scott and Scooter. And I saw something they can't take away, so that's her talent, her connection with her fans, just like herself. Because there are pages turned but the bridges burned, everything you lose is a step you take. And I just love this song so much because it says, make the friendship bracelets, take the moment and taste it, you've got no reason to be afraid. Which is so cute because that's how the friendship bracelet like tradition started at the Eras tour. And it ends with You're on Your Own, Kid, you can face this. So this really feels like a letter to her younger self. But she also could be singing this to the fans, anyone who wants to start in the industry, anyone who's going through a hard time. Wow, I had no idea the song meant this much to me. Oh my god. Okay, 5 is Maroon. This is for the sound. I still remember when I first listened to this song, I was so obsessed with it immediately. Who do you guys think this song is about? So many people think it's about Carly Claus. It could be about I don't think it's about Joe. I think it's about Jake Gyllenhaal. And this is why I think this, because she said in Midnights these were songs that she's written throughout her life or written about different points in her life, not necessarily her life since Evermore. Now that we know her and Joe broke up, I think we think a lot more of the songs are about him. But Maroon, she has a whole album called Red about Jake Gyllenhaal. And in this song, she lists a bunch of different shades of red. So it just has to be about him, in my mind. It gives 3 different shades of red, burgundy, scarlet, and maroon. Like, I think it's obvious. I don't know. Also, the fact that it's set in New York, and I know a lot of her songs with different people are set in New York, but we know Her and Jake spent a lot of time in New York together. Also, And I Wake with Your Memory Over Me, that's a real fucking legacy to leave. I think that's really interesting because one of her most famous songs, All Too Well, is about him, and it's a fan favorite, and when she re-recorded it, she made a 10-minute version of it. So it's like, so his like legacy is still a really big part of her career. This is just my interpretation of it. I know people think very different things, but I just wanted to share mine with you guys. The production is also offensive. It's so good. I love the Midnight's production. It's just a perfect song. It's a really heartbreaking breakup song also because she's talking about the rust that grew between telephones, and I love that metaphor because it's talking about how two people don't speak anymore, but it's just in such a creative way. Then 4, we have Peace, and I'm actually gonna cry talking about this because it's so fucked up. So she explained the meaning of the song in the Folklore Long Pond studio sessions. So if you want to hear her talking about it, you should definitely go watch that. It's on Disney Plus. So this song is about how whenever she's in a relationship, it's always going to be really chaotic. Like, they're always going to be in the media. There's always going to be paparazzi around her. So she's saying to the person who at the time is Joe, would it be enough if I could never give you peace? So am I myself enough? We'll never have a peaceful life away from the media. I think it's one of her best songs lyrically. Also, the production is so good. Like, the beginning, the intro, every time I hear it, I'm just like, if I was at the Eras tour and I heard Our Coming Of, I would start sobbing. Some of my favorite lyrics are, if I'm a fire and I'll keep your brittle heart warm, if your Cascade Ocean Wave blues come, all these people think love's for a show, but I would die for you in secret. So to me, this is just like a really intense love for someone when you're like, I will give you everything, I will do anything for you, but I can't stop the media from doing what they do. It's such a beautiful song. It sounds like a lullaby. I never get sick of listening to it. I might do another video where I talk about Folklore because it's my favorite album of hers, and I think I'm just gonna do a deep dive, so let me know if you want to see that. Also, the melody is just really different from everything she's ever done. Like, I heard one person say it sounds like slam poetry, and I thought that was funny. Another lyric I love is, and you know that I'd swing with you for the fences, sit with you in the trenches, give you my wild, give you a child. Again, just expressing her deep, unconditional love for someone. Then we have Clean, number 3. Clean is so good. I feel like Clean is a fan favorite. Everyone loves Clean. I think one of the reasons the song is so good is because it's the last song on like the official 1989 Stolen Version album, and it's just the perfect ending to the album because the whole rest of it is like talking, I mean, not only about a relationship, there's like Blank Space and Shake It Off obviously, but a lot of the other songs are about relationship, and Clean is just the end. It's like, I'm done, I'm finally clean. I also love the metaphor that it's like you're clean from drugs or alcohol, so I think a lot of people that are struggling with that can like interpret the song that way instead of a relationship. Also, at that time, it's like one of her best songs lyrically, and it's basically saying the rain like washed this person from her. So she's saying the rain came pouring down when I was drowning, that's when I could finally breathe, and by morning, gone was any trace of you, I think I'm finally clean. So like, just that imagery of her being showered by rain and just being completely clean of someone, I really love. Again, sonically, all these songs are my top because they're like my favorite production. 10 months sober, I must admit, just because you're clean don't mean you don't miss it. 10 months older, I won't give in. Now that I'm clean, I'm never gonna risk it. Again, going into that like sober metaphor. Then number 2 is Tim McGraw, also from her first album. This one I love so much because it's her first single, and the lyrics are incredible, and it's such a like country song. I love how she's talking about Georgia stars. She says little black dress, which is such a country thing. It also really has that country twang. I love the intro. It just has that perfect country storytelling where you can really see their relationship. The bridge is offensive, and I love how she ends the song with the first lyric. She does this a lot in her music, but it just like totally wraps up the song, and I love that. Okay, number 1, All Too Well, 10-minute version. So for number 1, it's All Too Well and All Too Well 10-minute version. They're like the same, you know, I don't differentiate between the two. This song means so much to me. I like actually can't even put it into words. So when Red first came out, I remember listening to it and it immediately was my favorite. And at that time I was a freshman in high school and I hadn't gone through a breakup yet, but it immediately, like I said, was my favorite song. It just has perfect storytelling. It has the best lyrics. On the original Stolen Red, it sounded way sadder than on the new re-recorded version, which I understand because obviously she isn't feeling those same feelings anymore. It's crazy because I actually have a really special story with this song. So it's been my favorite Taylor Swift song since it came out, and I went to the 1989 tour, which was in August, and like the past June, this is in 2015, mind you, but that past June I got through a breakup that was really sad. And All Too Well was not on the set list for this tour. It really wasn't a known fan favorite until the Eras tour. And she still did surprise songs for the 1989 tour, and I got All Too Well as my surprise song. And I just burst out crying because I could relate to it so well, and I was like finally feeling all the things from the breakup, and it was just like so cathartic. But I was with all my friends and I was like sobbing. My friends had to help me. And I didn't even know I was still sad about it, but it just brought up all the feelings. So that's just like a really, really special memory I have with the song. I love her so much. I'm sobbing. Okay. But I'm so grateful that I have this song because literally every single breakup I've gone through, I've had this song to listen to and then cry to. And it's so hard to pick lyrics from the song that are my favorite because every single one is my favorite. I love the imagery of dancing around the kitchen and the refrigerator light down the stairs. A new lyric I really like is "You kept me a secret, but I kept you like an oath." The bridge like actually ruins my life. It's so fucked up. Maybe we got lost in translation, maybe I asked for too much, but maybe this thing was a masterpiece till you tore it all up. And you call me up again just to break me like a promise, so casually cruel in the name of being honest. I'm a crumpled up piece of paper lying here. They're just some of the most relatable lyrics ever if you felt like abandoned or not appreciated or used, honestly. I need to stop the video because I can't stop crying. With this one, I feel like if you get it, you get it. I think everyone appreciates it now, which I really love. If you haven't seen the short film, Taylor directed a short film and it's really good. And it's really descriptive. Like, I wonder how much she actually took from her life and put in the short film with like the conversations and like the fight at the dinner and everything. But I think I'm gonna wrap it up. Those are my top 10 Taylor Swift songs. Let me know what yours are. I would love to know and discuss. I think it's so interesting because everyone's are so different. I don't know why I was a mess in that video. I apologize. Let me know if you want to see any more Taylor Swift related videos. If you want to see more, please subscribe and like this video if you liked it. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!